Live, so got another sign out. We're out campaigning for city council, out knocking on people's doors, talking to people, running for office for the city council office to represent you in the South Knoxville Fort Sanders area. So let's see. Okay, we'll give people a minute to come on in. So yeah, we're running for public office, and right now is early voting is open. You can early vote tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So you got about 2 more days to early vote. Actually, until the 21st, Thursday is the last day to early vote, and you can early vote Thursday. So if y'all live in this area, I'm running for city council. If you want a leaflet, y'all live in this area?
Yeah, I actually joined back in the road.
Okay. Well, I left you a leaflet on the door. There's my sign there at the end of the road. So I appreciate your vote. Nice truck. So yeah, pretty much get out of the way, but I don't blame you. So yeah. So, but okay, yeah. So some people ain't very nice, some people are very nice. So the gentleman that let's put his campaign yard sign out was very nice. So today I'm gonna talk about some good things. So yeah, I was looking at my Facebook page, and I have got hundreds of happy birthdays today, which is a very good thing. It means my efforts to increase my presence and reach on Facebook is really getting out. And let me tell y'all, I really appreciate all the birthday wishes. It's fantastic. That's never happened before, where I've got that many hundreds and hundreds of happy birthdays on my campaign Facebook page, and also some on my other page. So thank you all so very much for that. I certainly appreciate it. So let's see if this guy wants a leaflet. Hello, I'm running for city. I don't have to get lost. It's a public street. I can stay here if I want to. It's a public street. Yeah, whatever. You don't need to talk to people like that. That's disrespectful. So yeah, that's what I have to put up with. And we're not going anywhere. So okay. Yeah, that's what I have to put up with. So heard about me. Yeah, heard the lies and believe the lies. So let me put this down. So yeah, if you believe government lies, then go ahead, tell me to get out of here. I might just park out in front of her house. So yeah, we're not going anywhere. So yeah, and I'm not going to figure out, tell you where you live, but we're YouTube live, so you know, I bet she's not going to wish me a happy birthday either. So yeah, but that's all right. That's how stupid some people are. They're idiots. They believe the government, and that's why we're in the shape we're in. But they have me down as a convicted felon, and people believe that. You can't even get on the ballot if you're a convicted felon. But stuff like that just fires me up to knock on more doors, because there's people out here that have some sense, not just people like that are total dirtbag idiots that expect to. And I'm not the kind of person that gives respect to people that aren't respectable. You talk like that to me, then I usually ignore you. But that's what we're going through, and other people are lying about us. So let's straighten these people out, show them at the polls. Hello, I'm Charles Van Morgan. I'm running for city council to represent you in this area. So I left you a leaflet on the door if that's all right.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. So do you have any, I'm not recording you. Do you have any concerns? Do you have any concerns or compliments about the city government off the top of your head? It's pointing at me, but it is audio. I'm gonna.
No, it's not, not
Okay.
really.
All right. I'm promising to represent you all, as opposed to the other candidates that are getting a lot of donation money and help from people that don't even live in this area. So
Okay.
you can tell by their you can tell by their campaign signs as big as houses. So and don't believe a word they say about me. They got me down as a convicted felon. You can't even get on the ballot if you're a convicted felon. So it's all lies.
Okay.
And it's because I'm fighting people in government power. So
All right, well,
if you like people in government power, then you probably shouldn't vote for me, because I don't.
I'll
but
take you out. Thank
but
you.
but I love your hair there.
Thank you.
So is that natural? They say
Yeah.
is it? So I better leave you alone then.
No, sir, you're good.
Early voting's going on right now. I'd appreciate your vote.
Thank you.
God bless you, I pray.
Be careful.
Thank you. See, there's some nice people. There's some nice people that are respectable and super nice. That lady must be drunk or something. You can't pay attention to everybody, but it's all right. No problem. But stuff like that just makes me want to campaign more and knock on more doors. So we have until 9 o'clock legally. We can knock on doors. A constitutionally protected activity that they can't stop. If she calls the police on you, they can't do anything about it. If they do, this is perfectly legal. It's been decided by the United States Supreme Court. Political campaigning, canvassing, and also religious material, handing out religious campaigning, and even more than that is political campaigning. What we're doing is even more protected than religious speech. It's the most protected form of speech. The right of American citizens to run for public office, and also the right of American citizens to criticize their government. So we're subject to civil and criminal laws, but it's not a civil offense to tell the truth about government officials. And in Knoxville, they are pretty crooked officials. You can tell by the people that they keep friends with. So I'll say no more about that, but yeah, that just fires me up to campaign more. So and we're gonna keep fighting, and that's why campaigning is fighting. It's fighting evil and fighting people that want you to cause you trouble and want you to go away, but we're not going anywhere. And that happens every now and then, too frequently than I want it to. But what we're going to talk about, as I was talking to you earlier, hold on just a second, is the outpouring of love from y'all for my birthday. My reach is getting out. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. This is a grassroots political campaign, about as grassroots as you can get, and not very many, but so we got some people in here, but just a few campaign signs left. We gave most of them out, and if we win the primary, we'll get some more, which is what I wanted to talk about, is the winning the primary. And the way we can do that, I believe that we have more voters than the other candidates. And because I've done the work and talked to people, and they promised me they'll vote for me. So I think, quite frankly, that we've got more voters than any candidate on the ballot. But, hold on just a second. And I'll show you what I do. Place this on the door. And we've got more voters than any candidate on the ballot, I believe. Promises and the work we've done, but the other candidates can still win. because voters don't matter. I know that's astonishing to say, but they don't. There's 10,000 voters probably registered in the city of Knoxville right now. They say there's 12,000 registered, but the ones I've called, a lot of them, probably about 2,000 out of the 12 are don't even live in the area anymore. So there's probably about 10,000 voters. They like to impress people and say there's 12,000, but there's probably 10,000 eligible registered voters in the city of Knoxville. Well, I like to set it down. So there's about 12,000. Eligible registered voters in the city of Knoxville. So yeah, and they are there's about 10,000 that are eligible, 12,000 on their voter list. That, you know, I had a hard time getting it. They didn't even want to give me that, and they even lied to me about it. They said that the voter list did not include phone numbers. But yeah, they do. Yeah, it does. So they even lied to me about that in the election commission. It's got phone numbers and on most of the voters, and it also has addresses. And they just said it had their name and address. So they lied about the phone numbers because they don't want a candidate like me to know that. They just want the other candidates to have upper hand and be able to call people. So they rigged the election. Elections are rigged. They're not honest, fair elections. I mean, if they are, why do we keep getting the stupid people in office? Because the parties prop them up. But I've got to outreach now, because I know for Facebook that y'all are listening to me, and I'm telling the truth about government officials. But voters don't matter. 10,000 of them, they don't matter. There's only about 450, probably by now, maybe 500 that have cast a vote here in South Knoxville and the UT Fort Sanders area. So those are only voters that matter. So even though we got more voters, we got more support. Regardless of that lady, one of the other candidates has probably lied to her, but which is fine. You know, we'll tell the truth about them. And lies can't overcome facts. So, you know, the state lied on me and killed people. So you don't see me backing down from them. They call me a coward. I was out at night arresting more people than any trooper in the state for their own safety and the safety of the public than any trooper in the state by myself at night. That's not a coward. They don't like me out here now. I'm not a coward either. I'm still not a coward. They're cowards. And let them try to stop me from my legally protected constitutional activity. They've already tried. How did it work out for them? But the voters that matter, I want you to listen to this, if you will, please. It's important. The voters that matter are the ones that go vote. The ones that mark my name on the ballot. That's the ones that matter. And the other ones that support us, hey, I'm going to listen to you if I get in office, but we might not be able to get in office because you haven't went and voted. So I'm asking you to go vote. Go to the polls and matter and cast your vote for Charles Van Morgan. We can win this race. It's only about 450. There's 450 people in Knoxville right now that haven't even voted that support me. That if you will get up, march down to the polls, mark my name. It's the last name on the list. Meridian Baptist Church off Chapman Highway. You can go vote after 10 a.m. tomorrow, 10 to 6 tomorrow at Meridian, and 10 to 6 go vote at the City County building downtown, and then your vote will matter. Right now it don't matter unless you've already voted for me. So go vote and let's get our supporters to the polls, and that's how we can win. Right now we got more voters, but they can still beat us. They can still control every one of us if they can get their voters to the polls. So the real issue right now, the real important thing for you to do is to go vote immediately. Try voting tomorrow. And, you know, it's a rigged election. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The elections are rigged, but we need to make it too big to rig. too many voters where they can't make a difference and affect us adversely. So we got so many voters, they can't destroy every one of them. And they will if we don't make it too big to rig. So let's get our votes in, so go vote. The most important voters are not just voters, not our supporters, the voters that will go down to the polls, and the voters that will, if you can't even vote, drive somebody else to the polls that can. And we will make a difference in the city of Knoxville from day one, And also, you know, I've been covering the entire district, every door in the district, because there's a lot of people out here that care. The problem is they can't vote because they're a convicted felon, or maybe they don't have access to get to the voting booth because they're old and they literally can't make it, and they're not even able to cast an absentee ballot. But for whatever reason, they're not voters, and they're not on the voter list. And I have knocked on every legal door I can in the district, as opposed to any other candidate. They haven't done that. They selectively go after registered voters. And my thing is, everybody deserves representation. Now, not more than the people that have went to the polls and took the time to go down there and vote for me. Y'all deserve to be listened to. Amen. God bless you, I pray. That's absolutely right. But there's other people that need to be listened to too, and they can't vote because of a felony conviction or some other thing, and they still need to be heard. And I've went to their doors, and I've knocked on every door in the district. The other candidates are targeting. They are targeting to win this election. That's their sole goal, win this election. And that's not my sole goal. It's not. I want to win the election. That's one of the top goals, to win the election. To be honest is the top goal, and win the election honestly. Their goal is to buy